Hello there, welcome to Sales Today. Today we'll be talking about an amazing topic because over the period of weeks and days, individuals have really accosted to say, Doctor, you talk a whole lot about how businesses sustain even in challenging economy. And sometimes we forget to talk about how do individuals that run these businesses even sustain. So considering the fact that their salaries or their take home is limited. And that gave me a food for thought and to look inwards to see how can we really look at few activities that we as the drivers of these businesses and organizations also within the resources made available to us can be also sustain ourselves in this challenging economy. And that has been broken down into 7 activities which I urge you to please look into and start adopting even in this challenging economy. Number 1, I would say, is track your expenses. It's important now at this point in time where we have limited resources competing for numerous attention of what they needed or we needed to do. We need to be so very much calculative in manners that we only give what is important priority. All right, such that you only spend your limited resources on what is more important. And that has to do with your basic lifestyle that need your food, clothing, shelter, and ensure that frivolities are being taken out. And look at your expense for the last 6 months. Where have you been spending much more on that may not be necessarily adding to your basic life needs? And then you can track that down, or perhaps you can cut down on some of those expenses alongside. Number 2, work smarter. All right, and spend smarter. What I mean in this essence is the fact that it's not enough for you to just want to work, just go everywhere, wherever they call you, you just want to do the whole work that you have been called to do. Rather, you look at this work I want to do itself. This what I need to spend on this. Will I be able to get the needed profit or the needed expenses that will carry on with all of my needs and demand in this point in time? If with my work hours on this very business produce the needed funds that will help to sustain my lifestyle and my basic needs. So invariably, if it's not going to satisfy that itself, like you've been doing in the past, where you have been spending so much time on jobs or on businesses that you do for family and friends and you do on charity, I think it's high time you have to consider that, because again, you're going to spend your own hard-earned resources on what you are not sure is going to pay you back. So when you're stepping out of the house, you must ensure that while you do this work today, will you be able to take care of my expenses for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days while I'll be engaged in this job itself? So that's why it's need for you to work smarter and ensure that whatever businesses you are taking on must pay for your basic needs as well. Number 3 in this very aspect is to reduce waste and cut down on luxurious spending. Most times we get to say individual based on the fact that we have made our schedules when it was rosy. And of course, we have made our life patterns and routine on that very aspect of luxury. Now that we are in a crunch time, and of course, we're facing a lot of challenges all across, it's important to review your schedules. All right, see what needed to be cut out even in your schedules. Perhaps you visit more often every Saturday, or you tend to make some luxury expenses that are part of what you could afford when it was a bit rosy. I think it's high time we look into those as well and see what are those that are practically needed and what are those things that amount to waste or luxurious spending that will not be accommodated at this point in time. So you can have more funds that you can perhaps plow into savings or investing into something that will produce profit for you even as time goes on. Number 4 in this aspect is what pick up a side hustle at your leisure. All right, this is not the time where you have to spend your leisure watching TV on entertainment or just going to your social media account or Facebook and the rest. I think what you need to do more at this point in time is look at how can I pick up a skill, all right, in-demand skills that will assist me to become more productive. How can I learn something extra that will boost my productivity and effectiveness, that will help me to be more upskill at what I do so that I can gain more relevance and also boost my career and make me available for promotion even in my offices. So as such, because whatever at this point we need is to see how we can make more even within the time allotted for us in a day. So invariably getting a side hustle at your leisure time or picking up additional trainings, vocations, or programs that will help your productivity and increase your value is of great importance even in this very crunch time. Number 5 is learn a local skill that's in demand. All right. Sometimes we tend to really overlook some of these basic things that obviously gives money to individuals. I was speaking to someone recently and he told me what he earns from just doing barbing at his leisure time sometimes outweighs what he earns from his primary duty. And I said, how long do you do this? Yeah, he just does that 3-4 hours over the weekend. And of course, that has added additional benefits and finances to his income. So you can also out there, based on what we are good at with your hands or with your skills, take a side hustle in that regards and then see how best you can service a local demand or within your friends. Some of those things you do for your family and friends for free is high time you start monetizing it and ensuring that people pay for those skills even with some value, with some add-in currency that will help your diddling resources. And obviously, I've always told people, even in challenging economy, it's not for you to only cut down on your expenses. One of the things you have to do, more importantly, is to see how can I even generate more revenue. And that's what is important for you to get this side hustle and get to do some of these in-demand skills within your local niche. Number 6, live within your budget. Live within your income. It's important to be realistic about things and tell yourself the truth. Fake life will never pay their bills. If you know you cannot afford XYZ, let it be known to those people that had fake expectations from you. So you don't stress yourself trying to impress people because you want to be in their good books. Live within your budget and say yes to what you cannot say no to, and what you feel you can cut down on the expenses on there, on those things it said that you feel they are basic, please cut down on those things. There's family and friends parties, social media gatherings, and all these frivolities that people have to do and show up. I think you need to have a rethink and see how you can cut down on some of this. And finally, in this very aspect is what? Avoid risky behavior. And that has to do with those things that you know you can avoid. Please avoid them, like you driving late at night, driving while drunk alongside, because sometimes these risky behaviors get you into trouble. All right, where you have to spend so much money trying to get yourself out of trouble, and then you need to spend on lawyer, you need to spend on police case, you need to spend to heal someone or to really amend the mistakes or the hills you have created as a result of this risky behavior. So you don't need to necessarily spend money on what is not necessary and what can be curtailed or avoided if you have taken necessary precautions. I believe with these 7 pointers, this will assist you further in managing your resources even in this challenging economy effectively, such that you don't get unnecessary push to the wall, and at least you can work within your limit to really provide for your basic needs. Till I come your way next time, keep enjoying sales today, keep growing the revenue, and more importantly, stay out of trouble and get the best in your bottom lines. God bless you.